What's this? A new room? Yeah, I've moved all my stuff into a new room, which is probably temporary, so let's enjoy it while we can. What's today's video about again? Right, Real Steel! I recently discovered this movie after forgetting about it for years. The only time I've watched this was on a plane to Hawaii once, but I never finished it. So of course I watched it fully, and my god, this is so great. It's not perfect, but it's still up there. There was a mobile game based off this movie that I played a shit ton. Sadly, the original game that I played was removed and replaced by other games, but at least we have this movie to talk about. We follow Charlie, an ex-boxer who was an asshole father, played by Hugh Jackman. Just an asshole to everyone actually, and he rakes in debts on debts on debts through losing fights in the world's most famous sport, robot boxing. Charlie isn't stupid, however. He's a really good boxer, so he knows strategies to use, but his cocky personality gets in the way of him winning. He's a very flawed person, but he's also very charming. He makes a robot punch a bull, and now his kid is here. This is Max, Charlie's son, who he didn't even want. This guy's an asshole. Anyway, the two bond over their shared love for beating the shit out of robots. The dynamic between the two grows throughout the movie, which, thank God it does, because the two hate each other at the start of the movie.
Slip right. Back. Stop. You're welcome.
Shut up, you're not helping!
Even through the yelling, there's little character moments where you can tell Charlie somewhat cares for the little shit.
I told you I hate hamburgers!
The burrito.
Max can be annoying, but he's literally 12, so that makes sense. The two's newly found relationship is tested near the climax of the film, with the classic trope of the main characters fighting, then coming back together near the end, which feels weird, as they're separated for like 3 minutes. Charlie spends the whole movie chasing money, and his development comes to a head when he refuses to take a large payment from handing over Max to his aunt and uncle, instead going after his son. It's revealed later that Charlie was a really good boxer when humans would fight, and he loved it. But Charlie tells Max about robot boxing taking over, so he hasn't been able to fight in years. This all changes by the end, but we'll get there. There's another character called Bailey, who is Charlie's love interest, and she adds nothing really to the story. So I think the movie would have benefited from only focusing on Charlie and Max's relationship. There's a bunch of other fun side characters like, is that Captain America?
That's Noisy Boy!
The plot is really solid and really unique, from what I've seen anyway. Charlie needs money because he's in crippling debt, so lets two robots fucking die before he starts to see some luck after Max finds a new robot in a junkyard. So Max finds it after almost dying and drags it all the way up the steep hill? Okay. This robot is called Adam, with a T. He's an older sparring bot, which they use to win more and more fights. What I like about this is, Charlie makes a comment about Adam being pretty durable, which makes sense because he was built to be beat up.
You can take a hit. I'll give you this, kid. You back and take a hit.
It's this durability which allows Adam to last longer in matches, which is demonstrated very well in the final fight against Zeus, the best in the world. A few robots have some gimmicks. Noisy Boy has a voice command function,
Right, left, uppercut.
which Max later puts into Adam after Noisy Boy... Charlie has to program some boxing moves for Adam to recreate when he's told, so luckily he knows a great boxer. Adam also has a shadow boxing mode, which is used for running, dancing, and dramatic walking. I also have to mention that this world is set in the future, with these fancy looking phones, obviously the robots, and the Xbox 720. If I had to complain about something, I'd say that there could have been more underground fights shown. We see about 3, with Adam then being recognized by the World Robot Boxing people. It seems a little quick to rush him into professional league fights. I get they didn't have enough runtime to show more fights, but maybe they could have cut the opening bullfight with Ambush.
That's just hot. Gotcha. Come on.
This movie's about robot boxing, so how's the action? I'm happy to report that all the fight scenes in this movie go so unbelievably hard. All the hits from the robots feel like they have so much impact, and it's so satisfying. I love it. The robots themselves have drastically different designs and aesthetics, which makes them stand out more. Some are slick and brand new looking, while others have dents and scratches. All this makes the world feel so lived in. For example, take Midas here. This bot fights in the unofficial underground world, and you can tell he's been in a fair few fights, without the facilities to properly fix the bumps and bruises. While Twin Cities here fights in the official league, so it's more pristine. Stuff like that just makes the film better for me. The CGI is so damn great in this movie. It's practically perfect, and the robots feel so real. It was so good that it was nominated for an Academy Award. They are all remote controlled by people, but these hunks of metal have so much personality. I'm glad they didn't make the robots sentient, as this would have made the human characters less integral. And might I add, some of these names go hard as fuck. Zeus, Midas, Twin Cities? Those are fucking sick! And then there's Adam. The best fight in the movie is the Zeus fight at the end. The scope alone is just a really big deal, as Adam started in a junkyard and now is fighting the best in the world. Zeus has been hyped up to destroy his opponents in one round. Except Adam, obviously. He actually survives every round, but Zeus isn't a bitch either. Look how intimidating he is.
I don't want to continue, I'm too scared.
Adam gets ripped into, and when he actually gets a solid hit on Zeus, it literally gives me chills. The fight goes on for so long that there's a montage showing the highlights. This is already super hype, but Adam's voice command function stops working. Remember when I said Adam had that shadowboxing mode? Well, to continue on, Adam has to mirror Charlie's boxing, which is so cool to see after it being foreshadowed for the entire runtime. Anyway, Charlie rocks Zeus's shit, and the final bell rings. It's up to the judges to decide who wins. Adam loses, which I really like. This line sums it up nicely.
Some would say that your bot won the decision, but lost the fight.
And is declared the people's champion. It's a solid ending which subverts your expectations. This also happens in Rocky, but I haven't seen that. Like I said before, Charlie only fights these robots to make money, but the final fight doesn't have a cash prize. He's solely doing it for his son, and you can tell by the look on his face when he's shadowboxing that he just really enjoys boxing. Adam actually parallels Charlie pretty closely, which I recognized on my second viewing. In Charlie's boxing career, his big break was when he had a chance to fight one of the best fighters in the world. Everyone expected Charlie to get creamed, but he actually gave his opponent a beating. Charlie didn't win the fight, but he was recognized as a great fighter. Sound familiar? Adam is the exact same. Everyone was shocked by how well Adam did against Zeus, also giving him a beating. Still not winning, but became the people's champion. That's pretty cool, but the parallels go deeper. Both Adam and Charlie were found at rock bottom by Max. Adam's was literal, and Charlie's was more situational. Could I be reading too much into it? Maybe, but I think it's a solid argument. And that's the movie done. The movie was a smash hit, with it being #1 in 11 countries when it came out. Even here in Australia, it received pretty good scores, and the box office spoke for itself. Sadly, we never got a sequel. There was plenty of action to eat up, but I still find myself wanting more. People are still making trailers for a sequel, but don't believe them. It's not gonna happen. If you haven't watched Real Steel, I definitely recommend doing so. I'll see you later.